Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where we last time tracked down the leaders of the Kindred of the Coin that were responsible for the abduction of Thorongil, and now we are going to be speaking with various residents what they think about the flight. Are they going to be still in support for everyone? Are they disenchanted? Or are they going to skin me alive? I guess we'll find out. Hello there.
You have caught me at a good time, my friend. For I have just come into a large sum of money.
Or rather, I will have just as soon as I collect upon a daring wager I made at the Dahal Hulis, the grand arena within the Tor Gardens. What a glorious day it is today! How do I feel about the Kindred of the Coins? Oh, I think that they're doing a very good job of things. They saved us from the rule of the Empire of Ordach and the Church of the All-Seeing, after all. Let me just say this, friend. If the Kindred was not in power, I would not feel comfortable telling you about my winnings at the Hall Hulis, for fear that the Church would take my winnings for their own. I do not think any of the Kindred will do so, unless the Golden Queen is made jealous by my newfound wealth or something. If you return to me when you have a moment, I might have some work for you. I can't be too careful. Such a large sum at stake, after all. Yeah, understood. I'm not too sure about talking to someone so close to that ruin, but let's see what we have here. Hello there.
What do I think of the kindred of the coins? I think they have ruled us well and fairly.
They've ruled us well since the war's ending, and neither of the heirs of Castamere nor the Empire of Dordak could have done better. I have heard that some troubling rumors that there was fighting in the Citadel not long ago, and I hope that the ones responsible will soon be apprehended. May justice come swiftly for the ones responsible. Yes, of course. I heard that there was fell magic involved, yes. It is said that a great beast with 5 heads emerged from the column of water and shook the citadel to its very foundations. But that is not the most surprising thing that I have heard. More surprising than a 5-headed monster. Yes, I heard that each of the 5 heads bore a woman's countenance, and the beauty of each was matched only by her ferocity. Well, I suppose we could say that's in a way accurate. Yeah, I know, it's preposterous, but this is a land where surprising things can happen. I was not there, nor neither were you, of course. I believe this beast lives, unless Azagoth has already slain it. If you were a resident of the city, you would know that he is capable of great martial feats. Return to me when you have a moment, and we will see who knows the city of Umbar and who does not. Right. Well, I certainly can't say that I know more about the city than she does. But I guess I can't tell her that I know more about what happened there than she does. Perhaps this woman has some information.
What do I think of the kindred of the coins? This is a difficult question for me to answer, friend.
It is true that the kindred has promised return to peace and an increase in prosperity since they came to power and cast out the Empire of Ordach, and it seems that they will be made so. But they also promised to heed the will of the people and hear their concerns. But the meeting hall of Darlaya remains shut, where once I saw Azagoth and the other leaders of the kindred walking through the city. That has happened less and less of late. Where are Talata and her mighty hounds? Where are Tumlodo and his wife Nakasi? The only leader of the kindreds that I see with any regularity is the dwarf Holtak, and I don't like the look in his eye. He's plotting something within the shoreward stone. You mark my words on this. But for my part, I believe that the kindred has our best interests in mind. Truthfully, I would feel more at ease if they reopened the Darlaya and kept their promise. Alright. So, the meeting hall is still closed. Well then, how about the lower ward? Perhaps there are some interesting rumors here in the lower ward.
Keep your voice down, stranger. There are unfriendly ears about.
Well, I don't know if there really are unfriendly ears about, but it's better to stay on the side of caution, is it not? People say that Azagasi Shadow was driven from the citadel by a great beast, and only the swords of Nakasi Wave Reaper and Belondor the Fleetfast saved his life. I have remained on guard for any sign of the sorcerers who unleashed the beast upon the kindred, but so far I have not seen anything. No five-headed beasts. That's right, they could be anywhere. You should come back to me when you have finished your own errands for the day. I may have learned something by then. All right, we'll find out. I suppose I also need to check the more unsavory parts of the lower quarter. There seem to be some potential nasties around here.
Have I heard anything of late concerning the kindred of the coins? Not really. I have been busy.
Yes, I confess to you that I have not paid very much attention to the dealings of the kindred in recent days, for I have been much occupied with carrying my new friend Rumina. She's asleep right now, but when she wakes, she is like to cause quite a commotion, chasing either her tail or the rodents that infest the lower ward and the sail haven. I'll take it that her new friend is a cat, then. Yes, she was the loyal companion of a corsair captain and sailed from port to port with him. But now that he has retired from that trade and has given his ship cat to me, she seems to be quite happy with her new circumstances, but she keeps me very busy. If you check back with me, perhaps you will find the two of us with something. That would be very good for you. Well, alright, I will see if I can find anyone on that. Ah, maybe this man knows something.
Psst, stranger.
The man stares at you with piercing eyes. After a moment you realize that he is speaking to you nearly without moving his mouth. I saw a well-dressed man in blue and silver making for one of the north-south piers extending out into the water for the sail haven. You might go and see this man. Alright, I will go and see this man. That's probably the closest thing I have to a answer from this entire area. So, let's see if this leads me anywhere. I've checked most of the piers and haven't seen him yet. I think I've only got 2 more left. So let's see what we have down over here. Well, fortunately it's not run over by Airsorn, so that's a plus. Ooh! I do see someone down here. Hello there?
I saw you in the Citadel, stranger. You were there.
Were you also in the depths of Makhnash Corbo? That's an awkward question. Ah well, the writing was there, but I didn't see it until it was too late. There was cruelty in the Sea Shadow, as there was cruelty in all of us. but I believe that it was needed against the evils that were arrayed against us. The Church of the All-Seeing, the Empire of Ordach. These were foes against which we could show no mercy. The hatred that I bore for Gondor, I would not show mercy to any warriors of Gondor who opposed us, but not children. The boy Thorongil was not yet a man, and Azagoth would have drenched the stones of the citadel with his blood. Nakasi would have obeyed his command and done whatever the Sea Shadow ordered. The writing was there, but even then I followed the two of them as they fled. In the depths of Makta Corbo, my crew paid for my inaction, my indecision. Azagoth slew them in the dark, unnatural magic, and their sacrifice meant nothing. Do you have a crew of your own, stranger? Do you know what it means to lose them all, and for nothing? Well, I lost the ship, but the crew's still alive. At least I think they are.
What brings you to this city, stranger? I deem you have sought me out. Why?
I tell Belandor that I came to Umbar in the company of his old friend Sirgon. It has been many years since I named Sirgon a friend, and it must be the same with he who is the Lord of Lebanon. Was he rewarded for his blood-red service by the steward of Gondor? Did chasing me into the rocks of Shadakhin win him glory and fortune? He slew friends of mine in that pursuit, did he tell you? Has he come to Umbar Baharbel to finish the job that he began those many years ago? He would be wise to steer clear of my manor, for the wrath of Meshka, my wife, will be more deadly to him than all the spines of the desert, or the pointed rocks of the Shield Isles. Well, actually, Sirgon has already spoke with Meksha, and yes, she did make her opinion of him very, very extremely clear. And he did not clap her in irons? He is not here to drag us back to Gondor in chains? Has the king not sent you and he here to inflict his will upon us? If not, then why has Sirgon come to you? Well, what should I tell him? Alright, well, for one thing, Sirgon feels a burden of his past with you and with Meshka, and he hopes in some way to reconcile them, if such thing is in any way possible. Well, if what you said is true, let him speak these words to me himself. I will await him at the Hungry Deep Tavern. Now begone! I would be alone with my thoughts for some time, as I was before. I have friends to mourn. His crew, of course. Well, what do we do now? Well then, I suppose I need to speak to Sirgon. Ah, he's still here. Hi there.
You have seen Belandor? What did he say to you?
The Hungry Deep Tavern overlooks the Sail Haven, but it is located in the Upper Ward. Belandor's wife, Meshka, commanded her guards to slay me should I return to that place. But I would speak again with Belandor and tell him what I have come to believe. I am not afraid of Meshka's headsmen. I would bare my neck before them if it meant that I could ease the burden from my back. I carried it for too long. Will you accompany me, my friend? Let me know when you are ready to leave. All right. Let's then head on out to the Hungry Deep.
I was told my life would be forfeit should I return here. But I feel this is something I must do.
I appreciate you and the crew of the Wave Hunter agreeing to accompany me on this meeting with Melundor Pineleaf. The hungry deep and my fate awaits me atop these steps. Atop these steps. Well, then let's head on up step by step.
So it is true. You really have come to Umbar. I did not think it could be so. And yet I see many strange patrons here at the Hungry Deep.
Yeah.
They must be friends of yours.
Noriel?
If friendship with Seagon can yet exist.
They are the crew of the Wave Hunter, captained by my friend here. I value their friendship most highly. And yet, what use is my friendship when those I hold most dear come to the greatest harm?
You would die for them, and they for you.
I.
My own crew was the same. Though all the forces of Gondor be arrayed against us, they would stand with me against them. But Azagoth spent their lives with nary a thought.
Oh, Azagoth. Yeah. He wasn't a nice guy. Beneath the Makta Corbo, he worked cruel magic, tearing the life from dear members of my crew, friends that I have known for years. They died trusting me, Seergun. They trusted that I would bring them to safety, and trusted that their families would know they did not die for nothing. But Azagoth spent their lives for no purpose. Their deaths were needless, and provided only the smallest of delays so that the Sea Shadow could make his escape. He didn't know these men, and he discarded them without any thought. Only I am left to suffer the grief of their loss.
I am just so tired, Seagon. For so long, my hatred consumed me. Hatred of you. Hatred of Denethor, your master. Hatred of Gondor. It wears out a man, such hatred as that.
So you have come back.
Ah, hello. Wondered when she would arrive. I warned your friend Seergun not to return to the upper ward. Does he think that he remains out of reach and free for justice? Rothok has slain many such men who believe themselves to be untouchable, and for less reason than this. Melundor has not forgotten how easily Seergun cast aside his long friendship and was rewarded for it. He followed the steward Denethor's commands and questioned them not.
The steward Denethor is dead, Meshka. Seagon came here to speak honest words with me.
Oh, I have heard his honest words. They do not excuse the hurts he and his master inflicted upon us.
No. But I have come to understand the snare in which he was caught. The kindred of the coins was supposed to be different. We were trying to bring peace and prosperity to Umbar. Nakasi lost sight of that when she abducted the child Thorongil.
She will still pay for that crime. I have not forgotten.
And Azagoth? The man I knew would not have slain the child. Not for any reason. What changed in him to consider such reckless slaughter? So it was with the steward Denethor. He changed. I know not the cause, but his mind became clouded, and his heart was hardened. I served Umbar, and you Gondor. When did each of them cease serving us?
I know my words are just words, Belondor, and I have given you little reason to believe them. But I speak this from my heart. King Alessar is a good man, and he desires only that what is best for his people and for yours. He wants peace between Gondor and Umbar, and prosperity for both. I know this is so. He is not the same as the steward Denethor. Can the kindred of the coins come to see this, if Azagoth no longer controls them? Can you and they work alongside the kingdom of Gondor and not against it? Can you join hands with King Alessar if it means setting aside war and conflict?
What am I hearing, Bolondor? Does this man turn you against the kindred?
Well, I hope that we have repaired something of the friendship that we once possessed, Sirgon. But I am not ready to say the same of that between Gondor and Umbar. Your king has much to prove to us, for we have heard sweet words before and were deceived. It will not happen again. I have a feeling that they will raise that about threefold when they hear that Alessar and Thorongil are the same person. The kindred of the coins will survive without Azagoth and Nakasi. It was larger than both of them. It is larger than all of us, for it is Umbar. Your king will need to realize that if he believes that there can be peace between our lands. Oh, what does Rothak got to say about that? Gondorians and Umbari are both alike in this. Each of them uses too many words. I came here for two purposes, to fight and to fetch. I'm disappointed that there was no fight, but now you will come with me. Hamalak wants to see you again. Oh, go figure. You wish to see me, ma'am?
And so, you stand before me once again.
I am touched to hear of the reconciliation between Belondor and the man of Gondor who has so disturbed his heart for so many years. I trust that this law will not make him weak. Without Azagoth and Nakasi, the kindred of the coins must appear strong now, stronger than ever before. The people must be reassured that the kindred is here for them, despite the betrayal of the Sea Shadow. I have come to this decision, and I would like to ask you for help in seeing it done. Oh, and what is that?
We will reassure the folk of Umbar Baharbel that the peace will continue and prosperity will be theirs.
The kindred of the coins will hear their concerns and act upon them. The meeting hall of the Darlaya must be reopened. Its doors have remained shut for too long, and the voice of the people has grown distant. When you were here last, Pineleaf, I spoke some words concerning the Sea Shadow. You have now seen what I then believed, and still do, that he was not trustworthy, and owed his allegiance to some other. I think now that he drew his powers and his strength from the forces of the unnatural, and he who see all, from Sauron. For your part, in deposing him, in driving him from Umbar, you have my gratitude. I know that you are not from this land, but I believe that you have a giving heart, a charitable will, and an understanding mind. Will you help me to set right what Azagoth and Akasi have disturbed? All right. If so, speak with Yaith, he who guards the Darlaya here in the upper ward of the city. He will tell you what must be done to reopening the meeting hall. It may take time, but with this decision, I hope that we will take the first steady step towards a brighter future in Umbar and its people. All right. Well then, I'm sure there's someone who's going to be happy about that decision. Now, my question is, what is the proper way to pronounce J's in this land? I've been speaking them in a more northerly way, but I suspect that I'm wondering if the gist sound might be more appropriate. Well, whichever is the case, that is the end of this episode, and I'll see you next time where we are going to see about reopening the meeting hall when we return to the Song of Waves and Wind.